All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I'm Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to do our daily Bitcoin and Bitcoin miner update. It's been a rough couple of days for Bitcoin, but so far in 2023, it's been a very good year. So I want to tell you where I think we're going from here and go through what all the Bitcoin miners did. So I want to thank everybody. We just got to 13,000 subscribers, so that was a big goal. We're trying for 15,000 subscribers, so if you're new here or if you've been here often but have not yet subscribed, please do us a favor. I'm shooting for 50 new subscribers on this video, so I would appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. If you want to, you can also hit the notification bell to get notified when we do new videos. So thanks again to the 13,000 who have already subscribed. All right, let's talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. So I'm going to go through the Bitcoin miner big board. I want to go through today and yesterday because we did not take a look at yesterday's. And we've had a couple of day trend here to the downside. So if we look at today's big board, you're going to see it's mostly red. There were a few that were green on the day, but for the most part, red. However, you're going to see when we get to the Bitcoin chart, most of the miners were not down very much more than Bitcoin was. So this was not a very bad leveraged down day. So things seem to be settling themselves out. Bitfarms was down almost 5%, 4.7%. Hive was down 4.5%. Cleanspark was down 4.8%. RIOT and Marathon, the two largest market caps, they were actually green on the day. So the only other ones that were green was Wolf. TerraWolf was up 2.5%, and Any was up 2.7%. A couple of the big losers on the day, Stronghold was down 12.5%, and DigiHost was down 13%. So remember, those are nano cap stocks. So percentage-wise, they tend to have bigger moves. Okay, just a quick look at the day before. So this was yesterday. This was Tuesday's activity for the Bitcoin miners, and you're gonna see the board was much more red. There were still a few green outliers. TerraWolf was up 6.5%. That was up big. So I did do a video on TerraWolf yesterday. You can check that out on the channel. I think there's a reason that that was green versus all the other ones, which were quite a bit red. And then Core Scientific and DMG were in the green just a little bit, but you'll see there were much bigger moves yesterday. A very red day yesterday. A little bit of a red day today. So this is kind of 2 days in a row where we've been headed in the wrong direction. Now, we've gotten awfully used to heading in the right direction. We've had a fantastic 2022 so far, as I'm sure you guys know, for both Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners. But we are having a pullback. I want to go to the charts and show you why I think actually we're still in good shape. This is a healthy pullback, and I have a new price target. So we hit my two previous price targets over the course of the last 6 or 8 weeks on this rally that we've been in the middle of. So I'm not calling it a relief rally. I'm not calling it a bull market. I'm not calling it anything right now. It's a rally. It's a big rally. It's the biggest rally by far that we've had since October of 2021, but it remains to be seen where we go for the rest of the year. So I'm just going to start with Bitcoin on the 15-minute time frame. So as always, there's an orange line where Bitcoin was when the market closed yesterday. Bitcoin was down about 2.7%, so just under 3%. At one point, we were down more than 3%, 3.5% on the day. We did recover a little bit from that. This particular green candle that has a giant candle wick above and below, that was the green candle when the Fed minutes were released from their previous meeting back on February 1st. Very typically, the market was all over the place for 15 minutes or a half an hour, but it did settle in and there really wasn't much impact. As I expected, and I told the members yesterday, I didn't see anything that could possibly have been in the Fed minutes that was going to be different than the information that we already have. There really weren't any surprises, and we've had more updated data since then. So I think really the next thing that we're looking for is next month's CPI data. So we've got a little reprieve here in the middle, and the Fed minutes, as expected, really did not have much impact at all. Okay, for a minute, I want to go to the other extreme. I'm going to go to a 1-day time chart because I want to show you the pattern that's going on right now that I think we're still in the middle of. Also, I want to show the two price targets that we had called out over the last 6 weeks on this channel, and we have hit both of them. This was just short of a 64% rally so far. So the question is, if it's over, then, that was an extremely strong rally, better than anything we had the entire year in 2022. However, I'm not sure that it's over. I think there may be one more leg up in this rally. So our first price target was here, this purple line at 22,400. We hit that, about a month ago on Friday, January 20th. From there, my final price target for this rally was at 25,200. That was really basically getting us all the way back to the high that we hit in August of 2022. 5 out of 6 days here, Bitcoin did cross $25,000 at some point during the day. So we had a 5 out of 6 day streak going. Today, we did not do that. Today, we turn around and headed in the other direction. And this is really the second red candle in a row. So we've got a little bit of a pullback going, but you'll see if you look at the yellow lines on this chart, you'll see we continue to have higher lows and we continue to have higher highs. So I don't see this trend having reversed yet. I see this just as potentially a healthy pullback, but I want to look at a couple of the lines of support that I think are critical that we hold in order for us to take the next leg up on this rally. So there's a green line right here at around 23,250. That's an important line of support. We've held that for over a week now. However, even if we cross that, I do think this purple line here, which was at my initial price target at 22,400, I think if we can hold this purple line, then I do think if we can bounce off of that, we can have the next leg up of this rally. So that's what I'm going to be looking for in the next 24 to 48 hours. If we continue to pull back, can we hold one of these two lines of support? If we don't hold these two lines, and we retest the 21,500-ish line, I will honestly be less confident that we're going to run up to new highs, but I still think it's a possibility. If we break through that, then really, we don't have any support down until 20,000. Okay, so if I move this around a little, I will show you where my next price target is. It's basically this red line at 28,800, and that is because we've candle wicked right up to this line several times. If we can jump into this box right here, and that is at about from 25,200 to 28,800, you'll see Bitcoin has not traded in that range. There's a gigantic gap there. So I do think if we can bounce off of one of these lines of support, we stand a very good chance of running up to somewhere around 28,800. So I'm just going to say 29,000 is the potential next price target here, if we can hold support. And I'll tell you a couple of the reasons why I think we can hold support. And obviously, there's an awful lot of variables you can look at. I'm going to look at a couple that I think are positive. Okay, this is Bitcoin on the 2-hour time frame. So if you look on the 2-hour time frame, what I really want to look at is the RSI. And you're going to see back just about 1 week ago, we got to almost 94 on the 2-hour RSI. So that was extremely overbought. So it is no surprise we really got into the 89 or 90 area at almost every time frame. So we were very, very overbought. We were due for a pullback. We've had some sideways consolidation activity go on. And you can see in that time, the RSI went from, it looks like 92.5. It did bounce all the way off of 30, which is oversold. It got down to 29.42. So we went from drastically overbought to oversold on the 2-hour time frame. So this particular indicator was able to 100% reset itself, and that is one of the reasons I think there's some room to the upside from here and that we can hold these lines of support that we're looking to hold. Okay, if I go to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see if I go back a week again to February 15th, this got up to about 87. So earlier today, this got down to about 43. So that is not a complete reset. It is possible this will have to go down all the way down to 30 to get to oversold territory and hit the reset button. But that's why I have these two lines of support here, that we have a little bit room left to the downside where we could still hold support and set a higher low on the larger time frame and potentially continue this bull run. This actually went down to 36. I'm not sure if I said 46 earlier. So to get from 87 down to 36 where it was just a few hours ago is a very big reset. It's very close to getting down to 30, which is the oversold territory level. Lastly, if I look at a 1-day time frame, we did get up to 89 on the 1-day RSI. So that is extremely overbought. That was a 2-year high on the daily RSI. So the last time we did this was in January of 2021, and that was just simultaneous with the beginning of the massive bull run that we had in 2021. So you can see we did go down and reset somewhere just under 50 here already. So we're currently at about 55 here. So this is very ambiguous. To me, I think that we need to stay over 50 on the daily RSI, or somewhere in that neighborhood. We did get as low as 45.68. So if we can stay in the neighborhood of 50 and bounce off of that, we may be able to bounce between these two blue lines and have the next run up. So these are bunch of the indicators that I'm looking at. So depending on how you read all these, you really could make a conclusion one way or the other, but I'm not going to be wishy-washy. I do think the rally is not over. I think our next leg up is to 28,800. So right now we're sitting at about 23,800. So that's about $5,000 up on the next leg, and we are down almost $2,000 from our highs that we hit yesterday. So the next thing I'll be looking for, if we do hold those lines of support, is that we break through this sell wall at about 25,200. You can see this was a very strong sell wall. 5 different times we ran into this and got rejected every time on the daily time frame. So we need to break through this wall. Once we get into here, I do think we stand a chance at jogging or sprinting across this box here up to the 28,800. So a few things need to happen between now and then, but that's what I will be looking for. So remember, if you have not yet subscribed, we just got to 13,000. We're shooting for 15,000. So I would appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. You can check out some more content over here. So thanks again, and we will see you in the next video.